Look like Annette Chu.
Huh?
Look like Annette Chu. The Chinese.
Oh, she's Japanese.
Japanese.
Why cut this way? No ear.
Well, yeah, because she is very traditional, Japanese, very traditional, very confined. Everything is like.
Okay. So that's the way to emphasize it.
You don't need it.
She doesn't listen, I guess.
And this is Joshua Tree, 8x10.
Just some detail on the stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock.
Yeah, just a rock. Pretty big rock.
Like human, like an animal body.
So this is 8x10. You just print, not that, no enlarge.
Well, but if you have a negative that's that big, and I haven't enlarged it, I mean, I can make big prints.
This
but
one's just print, right?
that's just
8 by
just
10.
printed. This is from 8x10, yeah. So it's only blown up maybe. It would be like if you shot 35mm and made a print that size. So everything's same shot.
How often do you use the contact prints?
Not that often anymore. Contact printing, it requires a different frame of mind. And I do have an 8x10 enlarger, and I find that I can control a bit. If you're contacting something, you can't really see what's going on. So a lot of times you want to darken an area a little bit, and lighten it, and I find that difficult. This was another airplane. I crawled in where the engine used to be.
Oh, this is nice.
And this is actually the intake of a jet plane.
You can crawl in, but how you can bring your large format? So no tripod?
Oh yeah, of course tripod. Oh, oh, you have somebody help you. You get in there and you get the tripod in there, then you get the camera in there and you're sitting like this, and then you get the light meter, and then you see if it's possible. And then you take a Polaroid. See, that's another thing. On the back of a camera like that, you can take a test Polaroid so you can see what it's going to look like, kind of. And then you can fiddle around and move the camera around. And if it looks like it's worth shooting, well, then you take out some film. About 6 hours later, you take some film. The longest shot I ever did, actually on this particular project, we started at 8 o'clock one morning, finished the next morning at 8. We just shot one shot. And my legs were swollen. It was an F-18 airplane, and I could see fingerprints on it. And after I set it up, I could see it through the ground glass with my magnifier. I could see fingerprints. So I had to clean off the whole airplane.
Oh,
That was not fun. There's a lake in Denmark.
Lake where?
In Denmark.
Yeah, Paris from Denmark originally.
放在震动上嘛，大家。咱们把手机都改成这样，震动
对
比较好一点的手机，这样，因为咱们在网上都说过这个事儿。
And this is actually, this shot out in the desert, this should actually be a bigger print. This is a 5x7, it's a little bit bigger than the contact. What happened was that we were out in this, way out in the desert in Nevada, and it was a sandstorm. The sky was black, so we can't do anything. So come back next morning at sunrise, and the storm has just ended. The sky is totally clear, and so there's a rock, and it's all the wind that's blown out the sand behind it. No insect tracks or anything. And when I do this, I don't carry the camera with me. I just walk around and see. And you find something, and then you run back and get the camera. A lot of people will carry the backpack. I think it's too cumbersome. I did a project on Danish immigrants a few years ago. And this guy was actually
veteran.
He was Danish. He came over from Denmark. He was 12, and he was 18. He was sent to Vietnam, and he stepped on a landmine. And that's where he has been ever since. And this is shot in, well, this is about 10 years. Out in front of the house we live, we have a banana plant. And every time that banana plant sees me, I come with a knife, because I'm cutting off leaves and I'm cutting off things. And anyway, it's just a dead banana leaf.
So what's the background?
Yeah, how do you do the background?
It's a black background.
Oh, I see, okay.
Oh, did you set up that background as a backdrop or?
Oh, this is just, let me think. This was black velvet, I believe. because I wanted it deep, deep, deep black. And this thing, it's actually photographed like this because it's hanging, but I want it like this. I think it looks better. I mean, again, if you want your photographs to be upside down, why not you hang upside down? When you look in the back of that camera, everything is upside down. It's just like your eyes. Everything you see is upside down, but your brain flips it. If you're true, you should really hang everything upside down. This is another leaf. This is actually shot in the 2¼ Same plant, different leaf though.
Did you paint the background? Looks like it's
Yeah, I painted the background, the same thing. A gray, a brown paper and a big brush, Chinese ink. Actually, what I did, I painted, I looked at the leaf first, found out I was going to shoot it. Then I painted the background, it's about this big, and I just, then I hung it up, and then I positioned the leaf so it worked with it.
What's the original film size of this?
5x7. No, I'm sorry, 2¼ Just shot with a roller. This is another.
All the films you use is like a ISO 100 or similar?
A Tri-X is, they say 320. I rated at 260 because I want more shadow detail. And then I limit development so I don't burn out the highlights. This film was Berger film, which is no longer made. It was SA 200, which I used as SA 100. This is just a piece of bark. This is stuff I found walking around the world.
So you are using Kodak?
Kodak or Ilford or Berger was actually made in, it was made in Hungary by a French company, and the Hungarian company was Forte. Forte was went out of business because the biggest customer was the Russian army. Doesn't exist anymore the way it used to. So Berger tried to buy them out, they wouldn't allow it. So anyway, so generally speaking, on Tri-X, I love that film, made by Kodak. That's the only Kodak film I use. I use Ilford FP4 or HP5. This is the same shot. So I have some 8x10 shots. Oh, here's. This is actually, sorry, this is 5x7.
So you shot from above?
Yeah, it's just straight down on the floor. Camera just suspended.
You have overexposed and underdeveloped.
I do that all the time.
You do that.
Yeah, because then I get the shadow detail and the whole highlight.
Look like this one, I don't see zone 1. Zone 3 to 12, right?
Zone 1 is probably down here. Oh, yeah, that's probably down. This is the same one you saw, just a little bit different. Oh, this is a shot 8x10. This is a root. Oh, upside down, sorry. Up at John, that is a bristlecone pine root. The bristlecone pines are the oldest living things on Earth. This root is probably 3,000 years old. It's like a Japanese bonsai, but in a big scale. It's huge.
It's pictured in White Mountain area?
Yeah, probably at the top.
Look like upside down.
Yeah. Well, it can be the other way too.
Yeah.
This way?
Yeah.
I like this one. If you buy it, you can hang it any way you want. This was up in Northern California, redwoods. These things, you can photograph any subject matter can be photographed in many different ways. I think when I look at these things, they look like prehistoric animals, or prehistoric something. So instead of just showing it as a tree, why not try to show what it is you feel like when you're looking at it. And this is also shot at bristlecone. Same thing. Actually, no, it's not the same tree. You're looking inside a tree trunk. You're gonna have to move things around a little bit. Yeah, I have 2 shots. I didn't have them. I had them framed without glass, so I brought them. This was shot at Mount Whitney border.